Hey everybody, let's talk about your network. Let's talk about your Wi-Fi and let's talk about wired Ethernet. Let's talk about 5 reasons why Wi-Fi will never be better than Ethernet. Let's go ahead and take a look at what this article says. In these 5 reasons, what we've got is the first is high latency. Number 5, actually, the number 5 reason is high latency and physics limitations. No matter the advancements you get in technology, you'll never be able to beat a wired connection. Signal interference, congestion, and retransmission delays are all problems that will affect a wireless signal, but don't really exist the same way when it comes to a wired connection. In contrast, a wired connection is a direct link from your device to the router, cutting out all of those potential problems. Even then, you're limited by physics. When it comes to signals, there's always going to be a chance that a wireless connection has problems, which isn't really the case when it comes to a wired connection. This is especially important for applications where low latency is critical, like gaming, financial trading, and remote desktop access. Even with features like Wi-Fi, QoS, quality of service is what QoS stands for, and mesh networking. Mesh networking is where you link a bunch of Wi-Fi adapters together for a wider range network. Wi-Fi signals still have to compete with other devices, radio interference, and even physical obstructions. What that means is actual furniture in your home can cause issues with your Wi-Fi connection. If you have multiple devices connected to the Wi-Fi, they're all sharing the amount of data that can come through the Wi-Fi. So Ethernet, on the other hand, delivers a consistent, predictable connection with near zero packet loss and minimal jitter, which means when you connect to an Ethernet connection, you're getting all the bandwidth on that single connection. It's not sharing it with anybody that's on the same wireless system. Let's go down to the next thing. Ethernet is better for security. So, I mean, this goes without saying, but a wired connection is inherently more secure than a wireless one. Even the best wireless technology out there, deauthentication attacks were fixed with WPA3, and Dragonfly handshakes has a lot of additional problems that introduced when compared to WPA2. What that means is people can hack the password, the name, and get into your Wi-Fi when you're on a Ethernet connection. That can't be hacked over the air. So that, like I said, this is just common sense here as far as security being better. I'm not even going to go over all the information on this. That's pretty straightforward. Bandwidth limitations and spectrum sharing. So Wi-Fi has improved in terms of speed, but it still struggles when multiple devices are connected, like I said before, to the same network, because Wi-Fi operates on a shared frequency bands, 2.4 and 5 gigahertz and 6 gigahertz. Multiple users and devices have to compete for the bandwidth, meaning if you have multiple devices on the same Wi-Fi network, they're all using that same amount of network bandwidth, leading to a congestion and slower speeds. Ethernet, on the other hand, provides dedicated bandwidth to each connected device. A wired connection at 1 gig or 10 gig remains stable regardless of how many other users are online, whereas a Wi-Fi speed fluctuates based on interference, range, and congestion. This is why high-demand environments like data centers and professional gaming setups such as esports tournaments use Ethernet as the default choice. This is why you get better, you get a better connection for streaming your videos using an Ethernet cable as opposed to using a Wi-Fi cable if you're in a home with multiple people using the Wi-Fi. On top of that, Wi-Fi is prone to signal degradation over distance, whereas Ethernet cables can reliably carry data over much larger distances with significantly less loss in performance. Even though technologies like Wi-Fi mesh networks try to compensate for these issues, they still introduce additional latency and potential points of failure. Let's go ahead and go down to here. Power efficiency. So Wi-Fi uses more power. Another often overlooked downside of Wi-Fi is its impact on power consumption. Wireless networks require constant signal processing, error correction, and radio transmission, which puts additional strain on the battery of the device you're using. This is particularly noticeable in gaming laptops and mobile devices that consume more power when connected to Wi-Fi compared to Ethernet. Ethernet, in contrast, offers a direct and efficient connection that consumes less power, leading to longer battery life on the device that's supposedly both wired and wireless connectivity. Some Ethernet standards, such as Power over Ethernet, which, if you don't know what Power over Ethernet is, that's actually something that's used to power cameras or power phones, not cell phones, but actual regular telephones over an Ethernet connection, so that you don't have to plug the device into power, like an actual power outlet to power the device. So there's lots of devices that use PoE, and that can deliver both power and data through the same cable, reducing the need for additional power adapters in certain devices like security cameras and access points. So this is very important to know, that the Power over Ethernet is something really widely used in business and for a lot of people in their homes today, when it comes to, security cameras and everything. Reliability. Number one, Wi-Fi is inherently less reliable than Ethernet due to its dependence on radio signals, which can be affected by various factors such as physical obstructions, weather conditions, and interference from other wireless devices. Even minor obstacles like walls, furniture, and household appliances can impact Wi-Fi performance, especially when using higher frequencies that deliver faster. So what they mean by that is, if you don't know, 5G and 6G inherently are more susceptible to furniture and things obstructing the signal, which means that 2.4 gigahertz, the older, slower signal, actually travels through things much better and travels a greater distance. The newer signals like Wi-Fi 6 and 5, those travel a much less distance. But they operate at a much faster speed. So you're sacrificing distance for speed when you're using Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi and 5. 2.4 gigahertz travels a further distance, but it's not nearly as fast. So that's some of the things to know about, with all of that. On the other hand, Ethernet provides a significantly more stable, predictable connection. There is no signal degradation, no interference from neighboring networks, no unexpected drops in speed. If you're downloading large files, streaming high-quality content, or playing online games, a wired connection will give you a consistent connection that Wi-Fi can't always guarantee. So this is why I recommend everybody use Ethernet if you can. But that still doesn't take away from the fact that you want a good Wi-Fi network for your home as well. So the new Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 7, and the mesh stuff, definitely good stuff for you to get, because you want a good Wi-Fi network. Everybody wants a good Wi-Fi network. We don't not want a good Wi-Fi network, but we really need to understand the differences in them. And part of your house should be hardwired. I mean, bottom line. So bottom line, don't get me wrong, Wi-Fi has its place, but it comes to convenience. And mobility especially, it's undoubtedly king. When it comes to speed, security, reliability, and efficiency, Ethernet is simply better. Whether you're a gamer, a content creator, or someone who simply just values rock-solid internet connection, a wired setup is always going to outperform a wireless one in nearly every aspect. While Wi-Fi will continue to evolve and improve, it will never fully replace Ethernet, or what I would consider a hardwired connection, because you can't really say Ethernet. This article says Ethernet, but going forward in future networks, we're looking at a lot of fiber optic connections that will be replacing Ethernet. I don't think Ethernet will be around forever. So at any rate, yeah, we've got, a lot of stuff to think about with all of this. And so for those of you who were questioning about Wi-Fi versus Ethernet and what's the differences, hopefully this video helped clear some of that information up for you. And if it did, please leave a thumbs up and go ahead and let me know down below what you thought of this information. And if you have questions, please feel free to, leave me a comment down below, and I'll try to answer the questions for you, and we'll have a conversation about, what's best, and maybe you'll give me some thought about maybe a future video that maybe I can clarify things on. So I'll see you in the next video. You all have a great day. And this was Mr. On Demand, man with the master plan to give you the best networking he can. See you next time. Bye.